thought the same thing, but apparently the girls in my family like that.
Okay, I will be back.
When was your birthday, Charles?
A couple weeks ago or so.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
Was that a Dairy Queen cake?
No, it wasn't. It's mainly vanilla with a lot of icing.
It looks like a lot of icing.
A lot and a lot of icing. And I'm not, no pun intended.
Well, then none taken.
Well, hope you didn't take it too personally about my last bit.
No, your evaluation was fine. I actually had no problems with it. A little harsh, but I like the fact that I didn't put any confidence. Like, I mean, what am I going to say? I stole my dad's car to go for a joyride, which, by the way, I did twice.
Well, I didn't know about that. I don't think I really need to.
No. I didn't have a lot of conflict with my dad. Like, we just had differences of opinions, but I wouldn't call it conflict. Growing up.
Well, I guess you and I have a bit of different father relationship.
I got lucky with mine. Really lucky.
You had it really lucky.
But he was the no-sayer. I don't know if everybody had the same kind of dad, or mom would say, "Oh yes, sure, sweetheart, go ahead, do what you want." Dad would be like, "No, don't do it."
Yep, relatable. It's close.
That created a challenge.
Speaking of which, since I'm here, I thought I'll let you know about my upcoming, not this month, but not the next month coming up for November, but in the future, I want to do a speech on more of an interview. I was wondering if Sal can help me out with some of the interview bits.
Sure. Happy to do that, Charles. Happy to do that.
Thank
you. So you would like me to be the interviewee or the interviewer?
The interviewer.
Okay.
And Leah as well. Same thing.
We're interviewing you? We get to ask you questions?
Yes. More or less of that degree. But it's more of a topic of my choice at the end of the day.
Oh, sure, you got to come back for this one. It'll be fun. I guarantee.
I have several topics to be going on anyways.
I'll help you. You know that.
But the only thing is, can I get your time outside of this club? Is what I'm asking for.
That's not a problem.
And how about you, Sal?
Time outside the club?
Yeah.
Where would that be, though?
Probably in a meeting like this, but it's just that.
Now let me know what day or night it is, so I can make myself available.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. How are you enjoying Mojtaba? How are you enjoying the meeting? You can unmute yourself if you want to speak.
Okay, I enjoyed a lot and I learned a lot. The structure of the, let's say, yes, the meeting is quite interesting for me. Everything is organized. You have agenda, and yes, everybody knows what to do at what time. So it's so exciting for me.
Great.
Well organized. Thank you.
Well, good to see you. Terrific. We've got now how much? A couple of minutes still. So.
Mojtaba, are you living in Vancouver?
Yes, I do. I just moved to Vancouver. Right. In a few weeks.
Wow.
So our club is based in Richmond. Although
I'm in North Vancouver.
Oh, you're on the other side.
Yes.
Well, welcome to the tropics of Canada.
So it's your first time in a Toastmaster meeting?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
We're very happy that you're here.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sure Alberta is a little bit more interesting with the cold this time of the year.
Coquihalla got snow, and Prince George area got snow 2 weeks ago. We were
Oh
told,
no, Alberta have snow a while ago, way while ago.
oh, it's Alberta. And people from Ontario and Quebec have been posting pictures of their snow of late too. So you chose
Ontario and Quebec starting snowing now.
starting to see it, yeah.
Hmm.
You often see it just before Halloween.
So how do you get by Halloween when you were growing up with the icy weather?
Hopefully your parents made a really big costume that fit over your snowsuit.
Is that even necessary?
Oh yeah, it made it more fun. But this Halloween will be interesting to see what happens. You know, I know some parents are choosing to buy candy for their kids and keep them at home, watch the movies, and let them have their own bag of candy that the parents buy, just to keep them from going out and getting any cooties. COVID cooties.
Okay, it's 8:05. I don't know if Johan needs to do anything, but I'm going to restart the meeting. We're finished with our break. We'd love to have a joke now from Emily. Would you please unmute yourself? I know you're having some trouble with your camera, but we still love to hear the joke. Emily, can you unmute yourself? Mr. Zoom Master, can you unmute Emily? Because she's having some problems.
Might be away from keyboard.
Could be away from keyboard.
Give it about 5-10 minutes.
We'll give her maybe a minute or so, and then we can move on.
Hello.
Yes, Emily. Go ahead with your joke.
Hi. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. I have a joke. It's on about Halloween. What do you call a witch that lives at the beach?
A rich guy that lives at the beach.
Do you want me to repeat the joke again?
Is it a joke or a question?
It's a joke. What do you call a witch that lives at the beach?
A
beachcomber.
Beach witch? I don't know, a beach?
A beachcomber? Beach witch? Beach rich?
Oh,
Rich?
Bridge? A bridge?
Oh, do you want, no, that lives at the beach?
At the beach.
No idea.
Yeah.
No.
No idea.
Do you want me to tell you the answer?
Please.
Oh,
You're dying
a sandwich?
That's fine.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay, I have another joke. On which day are ghosts most scary?
Halloween?
Oh, on Friday?
What was the question? In which day are the ghosts doing what?
Oh, let me repeat the
Sure.
joke again. So, on which day are ghosts most scary?
Most scary, okay. Don't know.
Do you want me to tell you the answer?
Yes.
On Friday.
On Friday, okay, thank you. Yeah.
What do ghosts eat for dinner?
No.
Oh, the answer is spaghetti.
What?
On spaghetti.
Yeti.
What does a skeleton say before dinner? The answer is bon appetit.
Oh, you got another one?
What does a ghost do when he gets in the car?
Scream.
Oh, did you want me to tell you the answer for that one?
Yes.
The answer is he puts his seat belt on.
He puts his sheet on.
What bear goes around scaring other animals? The answer is Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh, that's a good one. Thank you very much, Emily. We've got your time's up now. Gonna move on to table topics. And today we have great pleasure in presenting Jazz Manhas as our table topic master. Let's all welcome Jazz. Over to you.
Okay, I'm going to explain to you the role of the table topics master. So the table topics is they're impromptu speeches. It's there to help us and the members think on their feet and speak on any given subject for between 1 to 2 minutes. It also allows speaking opportunities for those who are not programmed for any other roles on today's agenda. And I'm going to hand it over to Rama, the timer, to kind of walk us through how long each person will have to talk or answer questions.
Okay, thank you, Jazz. Okay, so the rules, kind of like the guidelines we have for each table topic speaker is, so I'm gonna put the green light, the green card at 1 minute. I'm gonna put the yellow card at 1 minute and 30 seconds, and then the red card at 2 minutes.
All right, so our theme this week is Halloween, and I love Halloween, not as much as Christmas, but Halloween's fun. It's a good way to get very creative with our imaginations. I mean, even as adults, I think it's a good way to get creative with our imaginations. And the one thing I want to know is, because Halloween, I notice, is not celebrated like worldwide. It's mostly people here in North America dress up and have costumes. So the question I want to ask everyone is, as a kid, what was your Halloween experience like? Did you go trick-or-treating? Did you dress up? Is there another day, not on October 31st, that you celebrate Halloween or the dead? So I'm gonna ask, let's go to Sharon.
Thanks, Jess. Actually, in my hometown, I don't have Halloween this holiday. So the first time I have Halloween is back in 10 years ago in Hamilton, Ontario, where during the Halloween, the apartment I ran with would decorate it with all those decorations, such as the skeleton or a big pumpkin. And so every year it changed. And I do see kids go around to do the trick and treat. I think it's fun. And that's my first memories of a Halloween. Back to you. Thanks, Jess.
Hey, that's exciting to come to another country and see that they do those. They dress up or they have pumpkins. I didn't even know what pumpkins really were as a kid. I just knew that my neighbors had them, and I was like, why do they have faces? So that's really cool. Another question I have is, if you could have a designer and a makeup artist and go all out, so no limits on the amount of money you could spend on your costume, what would you dress up as? And if it could have a superpower, what would that superpower be and why? So I will give that off to Sal.
Can I suggest something? Since I've been speaking a lot, it'd be nice if you can encourage the guests to participate, because I've been talking and talking.
Oh, sure, sure.
So why don't you ask one of our guests or somebody that hasn't been talking much, if you don't,
Okay, so
maybe Emily or
Motaba?
somebody, yeah, if they want to participate, that is.
You know, mostly, of course, I think Halloween is interesting for the kids, my kids, rather than for me. So I don't have any idea about, you know, wearing costumes and just to have any imagination and to be creative on wearing costumes, you know.
If you could, let's say, dress up as or you could have a superpower, because a lot of kids like to dress up as their superhero. So Spider-Man, Batman. If you could have a superpower, what would that be?
I give this superpower, of course, to the kid, that what will that they have such an experience in their life that that can never happen, you know, just once.
That's good. That's really selfless of you. I know a lot of people here, I don't know, but myself included, I'd want to be invisible, like Harry Potter.
There, she's almost invisible sometimes.
Yeah, see, we're already channeling that energy here. Another thing that I notice around, it's not even around Halloween, it's always been a thing for me and my friends, and I see it on the internet a lot, is if you turn all the lights out and you're running up the stairs, sometimes people run up the stairs because they're scared someone's gonna get them. So have you ever come across a feeling that someone was gonna get you and like you've just been scared, or like you're spooked out for no reason at all, or you know, a cat will jump out at you? Has anyone ever had any paranormal, scary, spooky activity happen to them? And I'm going to go with Janice. Has that ever happened to you?
I didn't expect to be called on. I'm trying to remember. So here in Jamaica, we, like in my dad's time, my dad is in his early 60s, what we call, so we have a name for ghosts. We call them duppies, D-U-P-P-Y. So in my dad's time, they had lots of duppy stories here in Jamaica. And those stories are very interesting for children who grew up in my time. Very interesting. But because I think to a great extent, we don't expect children here, we don't believe in things like Santa and that kind of thing. So just to hearing their stories, very interesting. But even if someone my age experienced something paranormal, we'd probably try to explain it away. You know, for me personally, I've heard stories from my mom about waking up to find me under the dining table as a child because I played with, so behind our house are graves. So it's very common here to have graves of relatives in the yard. There are cemeteries, but it's very common here in my mother's time. So we have 3-4 graves in the yard. And so I would also, a cemetery is behind the house at an Anglican church. And so she said I would play where there were banana trees. And so because I played there, then ghosts or duppies from the area took me from my bed and put me under a dining table. But I can't recall as an adult having any kind of experience. I just don't believe in that kind of thing. So if it happened, I'd probably say, I was probably dreaming or something. Yeah.
Thank you. That's really interesting to know that that's what happens there. Myself personally, I'd be like, are you sure? Like, I'd have to bring some sort of science into it. I'd be scared otherwise if I believed it. So I totally get that. My favorite part about Halloween, though, to be honest, is all the chocolate. It's like Easter, all the chocolate, just bring it on. I know I don't like to share, but as kids, me and my family, we would have trade-offs. So we would trick or treat. So here you go house to house and grab chocolates and you trick or treat and you bring them back. And me and my brother and my sister would dump our bags of candy and then trade which ones we didn't like first. So do you guys in your own family, I want you to think of a time where maybe you set your own twist or tradition. I do that every Halloween. Have a twist or a tradition that you do with your family on Halloween or a day where you celebrate dead. And I would ask John, but I'm not sure he's still here with us. I think he's pretending to be asleep. I don't know. So I'll ask.
So I'm hearing, am I having a tradition that, what is it, where we celebrate a dead?
So like Halloween, like not every culture celebrates Halloween. Like in Mexico, they have a Day of the Dead. So they have their own traditions, which is kind of similar. They dress up with skulls. And then here we have Halloween. So do you have any sort of special tradition where like you maybe switch your candy out, or do you guys share costumes, or, you know, do you give out raisins because there's homes that give out raisins? Is there a tradition that you have?
I can tell you that this is going to be a two-sided story. First of all, to answer your question on the traditions or the Halloween part, I'm going to stick to the Halloween part. It's going to be like this. Me and in my home, it's going to be me and my brother. And during the day when we were kids, we usually go to the same home together. So the stuff that we haul home is the same amount of loot. So do we trade? No. But do we have things that we like? We do with things that we like that my brother doesn't like, I like, he gives it to me. The things that I like, that my brother likes, that I don't like, I give it to him. The rest of it, we toss it aside, and the rest of the candy is, we call it our haul or our hoard or our loot. And that's the way we go about, because we try to collect as many as we can before November. So at least that way we try to see how many we try to break that record to try to see how many we can enjoy for the whole week of November. That's the way we do it for our personal family tradition. Does it have anything to do with the dead when we were kids? Not really. But does it have anything to do with hoarding candies and treasures? Since candies is good as currencies to kids, yeah, that's as close as you can get. Now, to answer you on the other side of the story about celebrating the dead or kind of thing, we, in the Asian culture, we have this kind of thing, but this is more of an ancestral belief or pay your respects to your ancestors kind of thing. And gosh, how am I going to do this with a yellow light on? The short story is, in the Chinese culture, there's a version of that. In the Korean culture, which is my wife's culture, there's a story of that. And this is called Jesa. And the way it works, okay, long story short is, honor your ancestors, put it there, pray a few times, enjoy your food. That's the short story of it.
That's pretty cool, actually. When and if this meeting's over, I'm gonna have to Google that, because that's pretty cool. My culture, we don't have any of that stuff. And the last question that I have is, A lot of times during Halloween, I knew the cheapest costume to make was a vampire because all you had to buy was the teeth and dress in black and, you know, do the little blood marks. But, you know, as history has it, vampires, they can live forever, for eternity. So my question is that if you could live forever as a vampire, would you do it, and why would you do it? And I'm going to ask that question to Rama. He's disappearing.
Rama, I can time you for this one.
Okay. I'm sorry. I don't think I understand the question. Can you just really quickly like reword it, maybe?
Yeah. So if you had the opportunity, let's say someone was saying, "Hey, Rama, we're going to turn you into a vampire. You could live forever."
Mhm.
Would you want to do it, and why? Like,
If I
would you
could.
want to do it or not?
If I could turn into a vampire, probably not, because yeah, I don't know. I just wouldn't do it. Because okay, can you come back to me?
That
I'm
was the last
sorry.
question.
Okay.
Does any
Um,
would any of you, if you can't think of, would anyone want to fill in whether they would want to do it?
Can I answer?
For
So
sure.
I would definitely want to live forever, but I wouldn't want to do it as a vampire because of what it takes to be a vampire. So you have to drink blood and that kind of thing. So I definitely wouldn't do it, because if I have to go about finding blood to drink, it means I would have to hurt other people. And more than likely, the people I hurt would possibly be people close to me, very close friends, neighbors, family members, because those are the people I would have access to if I need it urgently. Also, because there are laws about hurting people, especially if I do it and end up killing someone, that I might end up being an imprisoned vampire. So definitely, it wouldn't be worth it. No.
No, and then if you were an imprisoned vampire, you would get no blood, and you would eventually no longer be with us. So
Yeah.
that would defeat the purpose of living forever.
By the way, Janet,
And you may never
she's O
see the
negative.
light of day.
She's O negative, a universal donor. So go for her, not me. Okay?
We're running out of time, so
Yeah.
let's move on.
I'm just going to ask for the evaluation, and that is Sharon.
Thanks, Jess. I think all your questions are really creative and can resonate with people out of some story of them. The first question is for me, so I won't do the evaluation for myself, but I think I keep it really short. The second question is that if you could dress up as whatever superpower it is, what kind of costume would you like, and what superpower would you have? The question is for Otaba, and I think you can expand your imagination so that you can expand your topic, but I love your way that you care for your kids. You want the superpower for your kids. The third question is for Janice, is that have you ever come up some spooky or paranormal activity just to share her side stories too? So I think it's cool, and I really appreciate that you stood up to take up the topics from Rama. That do you want to like turn into vampire? Or see you were really active in participating in this table topic. The fourth question is for Charles, that have you got any traditions or set up any traditions at Halloween to celebrate it? And first for sharing the stories, it's always interesting to know the other cultures, but I think to keep it short will be better. And the last question is, do you want to turn into vampire? I think Rama, you two can expand your imagination so that you can construct your speech as it goes. And that's all for my evaluations. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Sharon, and thank you very much, our table topic master, Jazz. for the questions and all the fun we had. Well, don't apologize, Rama. You're too nice to be an vampire. That applies to Janice as well. In Toastmasters, everybody gets evaluated. We just had an evaluation on table topics. We're now going to move on to other people being evaluated. And our grammarian is going to give us a report now on how well we did with the grammar. So in a way, she's going to evaluate us. Over to you, Janice, for your report.
All right. So I was told by Johan that I had to give a report on everyone who spoke. I'm not sure if I really do have to, because there were persons evaluating others, but I'll just share what I have. So when TJ spoke first, as the invocator, I believe he was very creative. His tone, his intonation made, I believe, everyone want to hear what he. For example, if it were the beginning of a party, everyone would want to at least stay to see what it's all about, based on how creative he was. He made one mistake in giving the title of the speech. He said the title is called. So because we have the title is, we simply need the title and not the word called. He could say the speech is called, or the title is, and then give it. He used the word for today once. Emily, with the jokes. Let's see. All right, so she misused the term most scary. It should be scariest instead of most scary. I do like that the fact that she had more than one questions as jokes. There could have been a little bit more confidence, just to get persons to prepare their minds for what was coming. So the confidence was lacking, I believe. Johan, the speech was very detailed. I love that. It was very coherent, all the ideas. The last point was excellent. The word for today wasn't used, and he did stick to the topic. So there were, I also enjoyed the fact that he brought props. So he used a baseball hat, which of course makes everything better. There were a few mistakes he made. So he said, well, I'll mention two. He said the umpire need to rotate a lot. It should be needs instead of need. One other one, I learned about the teamwork. So the article "the" would not be necessary in that sentence, because teamwork, as he mentioned, was a general thing and not specific. All right, I have the rest on my laptop. Charles did great in introducing Leah. Leah has great intonation that grabs everyone's attention. I love the story. I love the introduction. I like the use of time munchkins. I believe she used the story to teach specific lessons that could apply to us. She also used attention grabbing bits as she spoke, for example, saying TAC. So because we hear TAC and we don't know what it means, we would want to actually listen to hear more. What else? I think that's it. Let me see. One moment. So I'm not seeing anyone. Oh, is my time up?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. Thank you very much, Janice. Great effort, first time, well done. Moving on to our quizzer. Let's see how everybody did. Now, I'm going to ask our quizzer to explain what the quizzer role is and what is expected of people.
Okay, thank you, Sal. The quizzer role is just a little fun part of our meeting where we have a little trivia. So I'm going to ask you who said what. Well, I'm going to tell you what someone said, and then everyone can unmute themselves right now. And as soon as you know, or you think you know what the answer is, then just shout it out. And the first person to guess right gets a point. You get it right. So
I don't count.
that's all there really is to being a quizzer. Sal, do you want me to go ahead with that right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So who said, I hope you can take some hard punches?
Charles.
Yes,
Got it.
could it be the skeleton? No, it was Charles.
Who said, Halloween is more interesting for my kids than for me?
Oh,
Mujtaba.
No, Rama got it. Who said the word duppies?
Oh,
Janice.
Janice.
Yuhan. Okay, follow up. What does it mean?
Ghost.
Ghosts. Okay. Who said, I love all the chocolate, bring it on?
The lady sitting beside you. Jazz.
We both do. All right, who said, I have to make a long story short?
Is it Charles?
Charles.
Charles. Who said, I wouldn't want to hurt the people closest to me?
Janice.
Janice. Who said, I'd give my superpower to my kid?
Mujtaba?
Oh. All right, looks like everyone was paying attention pretty much. So good job. That's it. Over to you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Now we're going to move on to our timers report. Over to you, Rama.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so for the Toastmasters intro, that was 1 minute 58 seconds. The invocator, 2 minutes and 21 seconds. Grammarian intro, 1 minute 28 seconds. Joke master was 3 minutes and 32. Evaluator number 1, his intro was 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Evaluator number 2 was 38 seconds. Speaker number 1 was 6 minutes 38 seconds. Speaker number 2, 6 minutes and 20 seconds. And then evaluator number 1, his evaluation was 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Evaluator number 2's evaluation was 3 minutes 30 seconds. And then for the table topics, so Sharon was 40 seconds, Mujtaba was 42 seconds, Janice was 1 minute and 32 seconds, and then Charles was 2 minutes and 15 seconds. For the evaluation of the table topics, so Sharon, she took 2 minutes and 22 seconds to give her reflection. And then the grammarian report was 3 minutes and 20 seconds. General evaluator was 6 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rama. I'm not sure what you meant, whether you meant general evaluator. I probably meant table talk, because we're just going to have a general evaluator now. Every role gets evaluated, except the general evaluator's role. So I'm going to ask our general evaluator to give us the big picture and evaluate the roles that have not been evaluated. Over to you, John.
Thank you very much, Sal. My overall impression of the meeting was it was a successful meeting. We didn't have a super large turnout, but we had enough to make the meeting work well. People seemed well prepared and fairly creative in their work. So guests were greeted efficiently, agenda changes were available, and members were ready to go as prepared, as required. There was no Sergeant-at-Arms introduction of chair. I would have liked to have heard Johan do a brief intro for Sal. Would have made a nice touch. Anyway, that was sort of a bit of a glitch, but it didn't matter. Our chair or Toastmaster, I don't know what you call it in this club, but anyway, Sal, he really ran the meeting very well and was an excellent manager. He welcomed the guests, short introduction on the theme, icebreaker question with a single short answer, which was good to keep themes within time. Meeting roles were explained and the benefits of Toastmasters, smooth transition and bridging between the speakers, and the meeting pace was controlled very well. So good job, Sal. I think you did a very star role tonight as the chair or Toastmaster. Our toast and quizzer, TJ, I felt he gave a good toast, and his quiz questions made us think a little bit as to just who said what. So he did a very good job there, very attentive there. Our inspirator joke master, Emily, I felt she gave a series of good jokes that were both entertaining and inspiring. And as a challenge to Emily, when you deliver a joke, don't hesitate, just let it flow, and don't worry about what people think. It'll come off much better if it's done smoothly. So well done, Emily. Our timer, Rama. Duties were explained in the first half. Times were given in the second half very accurately, and times were kept track so that we could keep the meeting running on time, which is a good thing. The timer tends to work in conjunction with the chair to keep things on track, so Rama pulled her weight very well there. Our grammarian, Janice, introduced the word of the day, ghoulish, nothing to do with Hungarian goulash, and very clear, concise word and role explanation. Duties were explained in the first half. In the second half, she did a complete grammarian role, and then she explained Oz, word of the day, and also colorful uses of language. So well done, Janice. Our table topics master, Jazz. I felt the topics were appropriate to the theme Halloween. They were introduced concisely in 1 minute or less. And guests were invited to participate. So that was very well done there, Jazz. Our table topics evaluator, Sharon. I felt she provided encouraging feedback, shared opportunities for growth, and ended on a positive note. So there was no problems there. We took our break. It was a little longer than 5 minutes, but it worked out okay. Our speech evaluators, TJ for Yuhan. I felt he gave a good introduction of Yuhan with a bio for him, so he'd done some homework ahead of time. So that's good to see. And good review. He used what is called the COD technique, content, organization, and delivery. Good review of the content, areas of improvement in delivery, for example, eye contact were cited, and organization, for example, the conclusion was considered. So he gave kind of interesting twist on the COD technique. So well done, PJ. Our speech evaluator for Charles for Leah. He gave what I haven't seen in a long time, the so-called tough love evaluation, where he's hard on the person he's evaluating, but he's also very supportive at the same time. So we talked about drama versus content and areas of improvement, and I felt it was a unique evaluation and it worked well. So kudos to Charles for being creative, taking a bit of a chance to do something a little bit original there. That concludes my general evaluation. I enjoyed the meeting, and I return the floor back to our chair, Sal.
Thank you very much, John, for that very encouraging evaluation and very detailed. In this meeting, we have some very important people, and you all are very important. But we have what I call VIPs, and those are our guests. We're always delighted that they do attend our meetings. We certainly would like to see them more often and also encourage them to join the club because we really could do with your wisdom and your energy. So I'd like to call upon our guests just to give us their impressions on what they thought about the meeting. So let me call upon Emily first. Emily, can you hear me? Can you unmute yourself? Oh, we can now finally see someone here. No, it's not Emily. Where's Emily gone? There you are. Go ahead, Emily. What did you think of the meeting? Ouch, I see her unmuted, but I can't hear her. Some technical issues there. Let's move on to Rama. I think you've been here a very long time. I think you should consider joining us because you're almost part of this family here. So what do you think of the meeting this time?
Okay, so I mean, same as always really full of energy, really fun. I tried to take my job. I was taking my job a little bit too seriously today as timer. So when Jazz asked me the question, I was caught totally off guard. But I think Janice did a lot better than me. She gave a better response. But yeah, so I'll come better prepared next time for table topics. And yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you very much. As somebody just commented, I think it was TJ, timer is one of the most difficult job. I'd rather do this as chair than be a timer. You never see me doing timing because I'm terrified of being a timer. Don't let Johan know he might assign me as being a timer. But it's a tough job and you handle that really well, as our general evaluator indicated. We will really encourage you to join because you've been here 5 times. It's a long time to be here. So I'd love to have you. Maybe talk to Johan or Sharon. And it doesn't cost much to sign up. It's less than the price of a cup of coffee a week. So it's a very, very good deal, as you can see what we're doing here. Moving on to Janice, who's been here before and who has been our grammarian today. How did you find the meeting?
I have really enjoyed it. I love the fact that there are different nationalities here, different ages, also different personalities. So I think whatever personality type you have, there's someone here that can appeal to you, and so you're going to want to come back. I like that. I like the fact that there are different sections that give everyone a chance to participate, and each section also appeals to whatever character type you are. If you're someone who likes to listen to speeches, there's something here for you. If you love to laugh, there's something here for you. If you want to give your feedback, there's table topics. So I like the structure of the meeting. I really enjoy it. It's my fun.
Thank you so much for your positive comments. It is always a special delight to have somebody for the first time. And today we were very honored to have Mushtaba with us. So perhaps you could, and I know you told me a little bit about it, but you could tell us how you found the meeting.
Yes, as I told you, through the Eventbrite. In fact, you know, I've been in New Brunswick. I just moved a few weeks ago to Vancouver, and in New Brunswick we had Eventbrite, but as not popular as here. I've seen every thing happened here in Vancouver has been on Eventbrite, so it's quite fascinating that we have a lot of, you know, things happening and introduced, of course, in Eventbrite, and through them find something interesting and something that I like to participate is quite difficult, and I'm happy that I find this one, and I think I will join you next time, of course, and to be one of your
Wonderful.
The speaker, of course.
Well, you know, it's been a real pleasure having you, and
Thank
thank you very much for coming. Would love to see you again.
Thank you.
Now let's move on to a person that I almost consider a member, but I still believe is a guest, and that will be Jazz. Jazz, are you still a guest or a member?
I am still a guest.
Oh,
I should be a member by now, shouldn't I?
you should be a member. How about tonight?
I think so. Honestly, this club is a lot of fun. I like I've been part of it twice now, and I got to come out on an outing once with a few people, and it's just I really like that everyone's from a different background. There's lots to learn, and that we're all developing our speeches at different rates, and we're all just so encouraging to one another to be better. So I really appreciate that.
Well, thank you so much for saying that. I don't know if you can still get a hold of Emily. We would have loved to hear her impressions, but I see that there are some problems there. But I like to maybe give one to Emily to take away. I loved her series of jokes, and I've got one for her on the same vein, and that is, why can't a skeleton dance? Anybody has any answers? Why can't a skeleton dance? Because he has nobody to dance with. How's that? Oh, that. Okay, well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure being your chairman, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. But before I go, I'd like to hand you over to our president for any club business and closing remarks. Over to you, Johan.
So thank you, Sal, for chairing a great meeting. So our next meeting will be in 2 weeks on November 9th. The theme I chose is Remembrance Day, because this will be very close to Remembrance Day in Canada, which is November 11th. So it's just 2 days before. And right now our agenda is still pretty empty, so please go to Easy Speak to sign up, or you can just tell me right now if you want to take on any role. And show you.
Is it possible to do one of the speeches even though I'm not a Toastmasters yet?
For the prepared speech is only the member can
Okay.
So
Okay.
I can send you the membership list. You can take a look, see if you like to become a member. And then some of our members will stay after the meeting. If any guests would like to ask any question, please stay after. We would love to hear more about you. And so also, okay, one more announcement for our next round club officer training will be on November 21st, a month from now. So all members are welcome to attend. It's a free event. It's not only about the training, also about some education sessions. I think I was post the link right now. So I will stay after. So if you have any guest or member have any question, please stay after. So now I call the global speaker October 26th meeting adjourned.
Well, please stay behind if you have any questions. Anything you'd like to ask about Toastmasters, we're here to answer them.
I have a question for Majaba.
You're
I have a question for Majaba. Majaba, like, what are you looking for exactly from a club? It's your first time here, and we're glad to have you, and we'd love to have you back. Just curious what you're looking for.
Were you asking this one?
Mujtaba?
Mujtaba.
Yes, Mujtaba. That's right. Mostly, I would like, of course, to improve my speaking skills. That it seems that people who are participated here mostly like to improve their speaking skills, giving lectures, how to, make impression that something who is listener would listen to them and have an effect, of course, influence their speaking, of course. This is what I think you like, of course. This is the aim of Toastmaster. I'm not pretty sure that this is the aim, but it seems that it would be much more than this that I take in this session.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we all have very different reasons why we're members of Toastmasters. Some are here to maybe do a speech or a toast at a social event, or they just want to be a better speaker in front of lots of people and have more confidence, or they want to do presentations at work, right? So it really depends on what you're going after. Some people, they want to learn how to be better listeners, right? So when you're a better listener, then you're also a better speaker. And some people just want to be able to communicate better and more effectively, right? To get their message across in a shorter time with fewer words, and to have that message be more meaningful. So there's a lot of different reasons. I don't know how familiar you are with Toastmasters, but one of the things that Toastmasters has is 7 there's multiple. I think there's 7 or more than 7 even, might be 15. They have different things that they're projects or we call them pathways. So it's like a full training course. It's a set of, it's a curriculum of speeches that projects that you're supposed to do to give speeches on specific topics that help you learn and practice a specific skill. So the different pathways have different projects that are specific to that pathway that help you develop the skill that you picked that you want to learn, right? So it's not that we just come here and we give speeches, but there's a real good structure and organization and purpose behind each speech that we do. And it's a course that we follow until you're done, right? So each pathway has a lot of speeches that you have to do, and you work your way through it each time you speak, right? So even though you're in North Vancouver, and normally when this club was meeting in person, they were doing it in Richmond, but everything, I mean, I don't think we're going to be meeting in person for at least a year, right? The way things are going. And even if we did start meeting in person, let's just say, best case scenario, let's just say 6 months from now, even if we could, will likely still be a Zoom side to the in-person meeting. So we'll keep Zoom. So there'll be hybrid meetings where we have a in-person and we have anyone on Zoom to participate over Zoom. But the way things are going, I don't think there's going to be anything in person probably for at least a year. So, you know, you can always participate as a member as over Zoom, right? That's something to keep in mind.
Thank you.
Keep that in mind as well. I think you may be right about the way things are going. So I was just wondering if you think that we're not going to be meeting in person for a whole year, what are we going to be doing for people who's like Janice, who's in Jamaica?
Well, Janice is really easy. She would be participating over Zoom.
Okay.
Right?
What I mean is after that.
Well, even after that, I think we should always have a hybrid meeting, depending on how many of our members are out of town, or if, you know, like Majtaba is in North Van. If it doesn't make sense for him to be driving, then that's something that we should offer our members, is to have a hybrid meeting.
Okay.
Right. So we would continue that as long as we needed to going forward. Any other questions, Majtaba?
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know if I can just talk to Leah for a bit before going, because I wanted to know, I wanted to discuss my next little bit of a project, but that's all. I think that's more on Yuhan's side. I just wanted to request to see if I can talk to Leah for a bit, since she has agreed to help me out with my next projects. Not the next 2, but I think it looks like you might be a little busy.
So, Majtaba, we'll have you at the next meeting.
Hope I can participate, yes.
Okay. Did you want to take a easy role? Do you want to be like the joke master next time?
Yes, it's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a fun role, right? Who doesn't like making people laugh?
Okay. Majtaba, just add you in our Easy Speak platform, so you can go there and see the detail of each meeting. So
thank you.
And you will receive the reminder for every meeting from Easy Speak.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna hop off. Johan, I think Charles had a question for Leah, if you could bring her back.
Sure.
Hi.
Okay.
Next time.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Good night.
See ya, TJ. So as for me now, so here's the thing about talking about the next project.